Now it's time to make the pick. The CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-24 is Century's Harli Hamlett. An outstanding year for the recent Knights graduate who led her soccer team to a county title, led the county girls basketball in scoring, and helped her lacrosse team to 13 wins this spring. I'm joined now by Harli Hamlett, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-24. Also with us is Century Athletic Director Ashley Hoy. Ladies, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us, Pat.
Harli, your girls' soccer career totals look like this: 37 goals, 14 assists, 88 points. Last winter, you led Carroll County girls basketball in scoring, 17 points a game, and then the last 2 seasons in lacrosse, 56 goals. Those are impressive stats across the board. Do any of them stand out to you? Any of them make you more proud when you look back at all 3 sports of what you did this year?
I think out of all of them, probably the one that stands out to me the most is the basketball. I mean, I was leading scorer in the county, which honestly, for all the sports, there's so many amazing athletes that when you do and you are able to make the leaderboard, I just think that's very impressive, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Actually, you came to Century, two seasons ago, right in the middle of Harli's career, and a lot of athletes at the school, a lot of good athletes all around the county. You and I have talked about Harli, out of here as well. What makes her stand out as one of the best at the school and obviously one of the best in Carroll County?
Yeah, I think she's very athletically gifted to begin with, and she's a competitor. But I think what really sets, Harli above most is she's comfortable being uncomfortable, and she's comfortable being coached.
Right.
So, if a coach is telling her, Chris is telling her, to do something specific, on a set play, if Danielle's telling her to do something specific, like instead of driving, to pull up with a jump shot, Becky's telling her to do something on defense, she doesn't get rattled, and she rises to that occasion. So I think, those 2 things really set her above most, and it obviously helped her throughout her career.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And with those stats we talked about, came team success. Girls soccer won 4 county titles. While you were there, the basketball team enjoyed some memorable moments as well. And of course, girls lacrosse state championship and plenty of playoff wins. But sort of like the first question, does anything stick out when I ask you about those 3, your career at those 3 seasons? Was one of those stand out above the rest, from the soccer to the basketball to the lacrosse, and what the team did?
Yeah, obviously the state championships are great. Winning, being the best team in the state for that class, it's a lot of fun. But I think something else that people don't really think of that much is the littler things, like team dinners, team bus rides,
Sure.
all the little things too. And I think all those memories just add up for a great thing.
Yeah, you've talked about that when we've talked before too, about just how the season goes and how much you bond with your teammates, stuff like that. Seniors, Ms. Hoyt just mentioned this a little bit. Seniors get that extra responsibility of leadership attached to them when they become a senior, both on and off the field. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes another for a senior. How did you find yourself adjusting and learning to that? How do you think it went as you became a 12th grader this year and took on those responsibilities? How do you think it went?
I thought everyone respected me, which helped a lot. And then I thought I had a lot of great leaders before me to show me. So I think it's just learning from what other people did and then kind of making it into my own way.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. There's always people in front of you that you're going to learn from, and hopefully you pass it down. In what ways did you see Harli, kind of rise up and become a leader to her teammates and the fellow Century athletes?
Yeah, so last year when I first really got to watch Harli, she was a leader in work ethic, and, she was going to lead on the field in those moments on the field. But as she grew into her senior year, she really took those underclassmen under her wing, and she's really mentoring them and getting more involved. So she had people like Jane, Brewer in lacrosse and soccer,
Right.
and Mia in soccer, and then basketball, controlling the huddles. But as Harli grew as a senior, she was controlling the huddles, and she was, bringing everyone together and, holding people accountable as the seasons went on. So she really grew this year and to a great leader, to help our young athletes at Century.
Yeah, that's definitely good points. Before we wrap things up, wanted to share a little video with you guys. Recently talked with 3 of your varsity coaches from Century. I actually just mentioned them: girls soccer coach Chris Little, girls basketball coach Danielle Webb, and girls lacrosse coach Becky Groves. Let's see what Harli's coaches had to say about the Athlete of the Year. Coach Little, what stuck out the most about Harli, what kind of player she was on the soccer field?
Yeah, on the soccer field, Harli is one of the hardest working, grittiest. Just, if you had to picture that kid that got jumped in mud puddles, she was a kid who would jump in mud puddles. She was the kind of kid when you put her on the soccer field and you ask her to go score goals or go do something and get it done, she would run through that brick wall for you and make sure that, in her best efforts, the team goals were being met.
Coach Webb, you had a girl that led the county in scoring, in basketball, but it's obviously about more than that. What about Harli stood out to you on the basketball court?
Yeah, I would just say it's her leadership and just the way she approaches the game and her teammates. She brings everybody up with her. And I think it's hard to have somebody who can perform so well on the court, by scoring, but also can then bring that intensity for their teammates as well. Because it takes a lot of energy to put the ball in the basket, and especially the way Harli does it. So then being able to then also transfer that energy into a positive way for her teammates, it's a big deal, and it really rubs off on her teammates, and they have a good role model.
I think it's her intensity level, and she's willing to do whatever it takes and whatever the team needs. And for us, she was really a lockdown defender, but she was able to score as well. And really, she just led our team with her intensity and able to get those loose balls, those draw controls, those little things that not everybody notices. And she just really was able to step up against the other team's best opponent.
Coach Webb, the intensity thing, I think that's something that all three of you have said, and I agree with it. But when did you first see it in a player like Harli that you mentioned a second ago? You can go to the basket and try to score, but it takes more than that. It takes a little bit of basketball IQ and things of that nature, and Harli has that too. She just also has that raw athleticism. Is that the one thing that it kind of becomes intensity when you put all those things together?
Yeah, I definitely think it does. And I think you could see it in Harli when she was a young kid, even in 7th and 8th grade. She just had it. It was very innate. It wasn't something she had to learn, which I think as a coach, that's the best thing you can have in a player is when it's natural, and because you can't teach it. So it just helped her bring along her game from the time she stepped on the court as a freshman to being a senior.
But no, I do think that Harli thrives on competitiveness. It's a word we haven't used with her, but there is no bigger competitor, whether she is on any one of these fields or anything she does in her personal life. I think she's a competitor, and I think that differentiates her.
No, and Harli's willing to do whatever the team needs, and that's what the team needed this year, was not necessarily her to score 1 million goals, but her to shut down that other team's best player or contain them so that they didn't have that 6-7 goal game where it gave our attack the ball and we're able to put it in the net.
I'll let Coach Little finish this off. A lot of memories, I'm sure all three you coaches have them, but of Harli and Coach Little, you've been around her a long time. You get to coach her in basketball as well with Coach Webb, and of course on the soccer field. What are some of the things that stand out to you the most, if I just mention her name to you, and the memories you might have of being able to coach such a standout athlete like Harli?
The memories are, and I'd say this all the time, it's not a goal you scored, it's not something that you maybe did one time, but it's the consistency of bringing it every single day. She came to practice like it was a game, and she came to practice to make all of her teammates better. This was a special class. I joke about this, but this is my favorite class, and I've got a kid who graduated a couple years ago with a lot of kids that I really liked. But this class, she had to deal with friends in all her sports that were on her teams that didn't maybe always have the same level of intensity, competitiveness, drive that she did. And she managed that in a way that was so special to bring the team along. So I would say my biggest memory of her is just how she brought it every day.
Big thanks to the Century coaches for sharing their time and thoughts about Harli Hamlett, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2023-2024. Before we do finish, though, I wanted to give Harli our certificate here that shows that she is the Athlete of the Year for 2023-24. So, Harli, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Also got a gift card for you from Genova's To Go. I'm sure you'll be putting that to good use as well before you head off to conference, too. Harli, any final thoughts on your final high school sports season or what your coaches had to say about your time with them as you watch that?
I think I'm just really grateful that I did have 3 amazing coaches in all my sports. I think that's not something that happens a lot for a lot of kids, and the support and everything that they offered me and everyone at Century through teammates, coaches, my athletic director, I just think that's something I'm really grateful for, and those would be
good memories. Yeah. And Ashley, same thing. A lot of kids come and go, a lot of great athletes come and go. You've already had a good bit of them in your short time. Harli, obviously one of the top ones on your list, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. She's definitely set the bar very high. I love when the young kids throughout the Century community come in and it's like, oh, that's Harli. Like, I want to be Harli. Or, their parents will come in and say, they were playing in the driveway the other day and she's taking a jump shot and saying, I'm Harli Hamlett. So that's the stuff we want in our community and to motivate the next generation to have more Harli Hamlett.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Harli, Ashley, thanks again for your time. And Harli, congratulations again once more for a great senior year. And that's going to do it for our special presentation of the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year. As always, we thank you for watching. A reminder that CM SportsNet will be out and about this summer to put together some sports packages, so keep an eye on for those. And when fall sports practice begins, I know that's not something Ashley wants to talk about right now, but it's less than 2 months away. Don't worry, we've got you covered. We'll be right back out there for the fall sports. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at cmsportsnet.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at CMSportsNetAction, and you can watch us on our new cable channel, HD 1072. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.